all our viewers. A very warm welcome to our new video series, Know Your Constitution, where we provide you with key insights into constitutional rights and remedies. It was way back in the year 2005 when the Indian actress Khushbu said in an interview that Indian society should stop prosecuting people for premarital sex. Soon she was subjected to innumerable FIRs. Quashing these proceedings, the courts held that the culture of democracy in the country gives a person the right to question social values and mores. The court was making a crucial comment about the value of free speech in a democracy. This video seeks to provide a primer about some interesting and controversial issues surrounding free speech. First, we will talk about freedom of the press, an ideal which is constantly attacked by elected governments. Second, we will talk about the right to information as another crucial aspect of free speech. Third, we will discuss the restrictions on free speech with particular emphasis on hate speech. Lastly, we will discuss remedies which you can access should you feel that your free speech is being threatened. The first issue relates to the freedom of press. Recently, Siddharth Varadarajan, founding editor of The Wire, was criminally prosecuted for allegedly falsely reporting about the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh flouting the lockdown. Even though subsequently the judiciary granted him anticipatory bail, these criminal charges create an atmosphere of fear in a society. Courts in India have held in cases like R. Rajagopal versus State of Tamil Nadu that public persons are open to more public scrutiny than private individuals. In R. Rajagopal, the court held that freedom of press cannot be curtailed merely for small factual inaccuracies unless there was actual malice or some kind of ill intention. News, media and publication houses enjoy a breathing space and they need not be asked to meticulously prove the contents of their publication. This case also noted for the first time that prosecution of the media has a chilling effect on free speech in a democracy. That is, it stifles free communication by creating a fear of prosecution. The next substantial element of freedom of speech and expression is the fundamental right to information. RTI in a democratic setup increases accountability of state action. It induces responsible public policy debate and ensures transparency of public affairs. It was with these principles in mind that the Parliament enacted the Right to Information Act in the year 2005, which has been a harbinger of a strengthened democracy. The Indian Supreme Court has held in several cases that access to information is crucial for freedom of expression because it is a crucial way through which people become aware of the functioning of government. It allows people to form political opinions and to voice their support or condemnation of governments.
Now that we understand that preservation of liberties under freedom of speech and expression is necessary in a democracy, we must also analyze the restrictions that are imposed upon this right. This brings us to the third essential aspect, which is that freedom of speech and expression is not an absolute fundamental right and can be restricted as provided under Article 19 Clause 2. The instances provided under Article 19 Clause 2 are sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency, morality, in relation to contempt of court, defamation, and incitement to an offence. But what is the threshold that a speech must meet in order to qualify for these restrictions? To answer this, let's analyze some of the videos of speech gone too far.
दिल्ली में आग लगी रहे, ये यही चाहते हैं इसीलिए इन्होंने रास्ते बंद किए, इसीलिए दंगे जैसा माहौल बना रहे हैं। हमारी तरफ से एक भी पत्थर नहीं चलाए। सीसीपी साहब हमारे सामने खड़े हैं। मैं आप सबके बिहाफ पे ये बात कह रहा हूँ, ट्रंप के जाने तक तो हम शांति से जा रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद हम आपकी भी नहीं सुनेंगे अगर रास्ते खाली नहीं हुए तो। बिल्कुल ठीक है, आज जब तक रास्ता खाली करवा रहे हैं। ट्रंप के जाने तक आप जाफराबाद और चांदबाग खाली करवा लीजिए, ऐसी आपसे विनती कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद हमें रोड पे आना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। भारत माता की जय, माता की जय, मातरम, मातरम।
का एक तरह का चुनाव है। अगर 11 तारीख को भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन गई, 1 घंटे के अंदर अंदर शाहीन बाग में अगर आपको एक भी आदमी दे गया तो मैं भी यहीं और आप भी यहीं। एक आदमी नहीं दिखाई देगा, एक सिंगल आदमी नहीं दिखाई देगा। और मैं आपको वायदा करके जा रहा हूं, अगर दिल्ली में मेरी सरकार बन गई तो 11 तारीख के बाद केवल 1 महीने का समय मुझे दे देना। मेरी लोकसभा में जितनी मस्जिद सरकारी जमीन पर बनी है, 1 महीने के अंदर अंदर 1 मस्जिद आपको नहीं छोड़ूंगा, सारी मस्जिद हटा।
गद्दारों को गोली मारो, सालों को देश के गद्दारों को पीछे तक आवाज आनी चाहिए, गिरिराज जी को सुनाई दे। देश के गद्दारों को, देश के गद्दारों को, देश के गद्दारों को, पुलिस के हत्यारों को, पुलिस के हत्यारों को, जो हिंदू इनकी बात करेगा, जो हिंदू इनकी बात करेगा। मातरम, मातरम, हमारा विधायक कैसा हो, हमारा विधायक कैसा हो, मातरम, 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 जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम। एक ही नारा, एक ही नाम, जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम। एक ही नारा, एक ही नाम।
In the videos, we saw that these individuals called upon people to take law into their own hands. This kind of speech, if aimed at a particular community, may also qualify as hate speech. Hate speech delegitimizes and marginalizes certain members of the society, reducing their social standing and acceptance within the society. However, the threshold for what constitutes hate speech under the Indian Constitution must be appreciated closely. Of the grounds mentioned under Article 19 Clause 2, hate speech is not an independent ground, and hence its reasonableness must be appreciated with regard to the ground of public order. Indian courts have accordingly created 2 standards for free speech: close connection test and tendency to cause test. The tendency to test provides that if a speech has a tendency to cause violence, then restrictions may be imposed upon it. The case of Ramji Lal Modi upheld this tendency to standard of free speech. However, over the years, a more progressive close connection test has been upheld in other cases like Suptov Prisons versus Ram Manohar Lohia. The test provides that there should be a close connection between the speech and the violence caused, and not just an abstract tendency of violence. For example, screaming fire in a closed movie hall will lead to imminent violence and chaos, and thus it does meet the standard of close connection. The recent case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India seems to vindicate this close connection test. As we saw in the case of Section 144 order imposed during anti-CAA protests in Bangalore, Karnataka, mere conjecture of violence often does not meet the threshold of Article 19 Clause 2 prescribed in the Indian Constitution. The Karnataka High Court quashed the Section 144 order because it was without any application of mind or any material that showed that violence was imminent. Now, having understood the meaning, importance, and various concepts revolving around freedom of speech and expression, it is also vital to know how we can enforce our fundamental right to free speech. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, also known as the father of the Indian Constitution, described Article 32 as the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. And it is this article, along with Article 226, that empowers the Supreme Court and High Courts respectively to remedy the violation of any fundamental rights by issuing writs against the state. Further, if an individual believes that criminal charges are being used to harass one, they can move an anticipatory bail application before arrest and a general bail application after arrest, or move the High Court for quashing the FIR against them. To get better case-specific legal advice, individuals can also approach legal service authorities and human rights commissions, which are available at district, state, as well as national levels. Lastly, one can even write a letter to the Supreme Court and High Courts for the violation of free speech, which may be then converted into letter petitions and heard by the court. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video was prepared by the Constitutional Law Society of National Law University, Jodhpur. For watching more such videos and lectures on constitutional law, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.